And welcome to another edition of 757 Sports Talk, powered by Cobra Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. He is the coach, Ed Young, not basking in the Raiders' glory because they got walloped by the Kansas City Chiefs. I meanwhile am Matt Hatfield, and my team didn't get a W either. I'm not rocking any paraphernalia or things about them. But, Ed, we begin this week's show with more news, breaking news, of a college football coach getting the ouster. And that is none other than Billy Napier of the Florida Gators, not doing the chomp because, well, he got chomped instead. He is done as the head man of the Gators, and it comes after a win over Mississippi State. Granted, there was some miscues, and it wasn't pretty in a 23-21 performance against the Bulldogs, and he went 22-23 in 4 years, 12-16 in the SEC, 5-17 against ranked opponents, 0-14 away from the swamp, or home, if you will, and he's out of a job now. What do you make of this as week after week, game after game, college football coaches who are not in the top 25, and in fact, you'll see the latest AP top 25 on our screen right there, they're getting the axe. It's got to make you very upset and grind your gears, doesn't it?
Yeah, I hate to see fellow coaches getting fired. And, of course, we're talking about big money sports. College football is big money. And how do we know it's big money? Well, kids are getting paid pretty frivolously. And we're firing coaches midseason and giving them buyouts of $50 million. So schools can't claim too much of being broke. But on the other hand, some of that buyout money is coming from boosters who decide that they feel that, you know, the next Belichick or Lombardi or whatever great coaches out there we can get, let's get rid of our guy now. And it's become a trend this year. And I think you could see Mike Norvell at Florida State gone by probably Monday, if not sooner. There is
Tuesday, Wednesday?
They are going to look for his – boosters are already informally talking that he'll be gone. They'll pay the $50 million bonus. And the thing about all this is you get rid of guy now, the interim guy who's going to take over, unless he goes, runs the table and wins all the games, he won't be coaching next year anyways because they're going to go after somebody big time. So, yeah, it has happened, and I think we're going to get another one within 24 hours.
Well, you mentioned Bill Belichick, the guy with more Super Bowl rings than anybody, and Lombardi after Vince Lombardi, the Lombardi Trophy, not his GM in Chapel Hill, a.k.a. Chapel Bill, Mike Lombardi. And by the way, UNC took another blemish, 18 for them, 21 for the Cal Bears as they dropped to 2-4. Cal moved to 5-2, and we bring that up because North Carolina's got on deck Virginia, who, as we'll show back on the screen, yeah, they're in that top 25. What a comeback for the Wahoos, 16th in the country as they double up Washington State. And by the way, we'll be chatting with one of two UVA commitments from the class of 2027. You say, Matt, that's 2 years from now. They're juniors. Yeah, Oscar Smith quarterback Lonnie Andrews III will join us later in the show because he made a verbal hours before kickoff to Tony Elliott and the Wahoos, who keep rolling, 5 straight wins for them. So this is a 3-pronged question for you before we then tackle some high school football here on 757 Sports Talk. Prong number 1. Biggest comeback of the day or most impressive one? Was it Virginia rallying to beat Washington State? You'd say Washington State, Matt. Was it Georgia from down 9? UVA was down 10 against Washington State. Georgia down 9 to beat Ole Miss in a higher scoring affair in their ball game. And that one was won by the Bulldogs. Second week in a row, they had a comeback as they were down last week to Auburn. They win this one 43-35 over the Fighting Lane Kiffins. Was that the first prong here, the biggest or most impressive comeback, UVA's? Prong 2, we mentioned the coaches in the hot seat. Is Bill Belichick going to finish up the season at UNC? That's prong number 2 for you. And prong number 3 for you, what jumps out at you the most in this AP Top 25? Take them in any order you like, Coach.
Well, you got top 25 in front on the screen. So I'm looking at it, and, of course, I see Mississippi down to 8. Miami gets a loss to Louisville in Miami. So I would say by deduction purposes, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama are going to be your, if it ended right now, would be your 4 number ones, or number 1, 2, 3, 4, to 4 seeds, which get a bye in the playoffs. Let's see if I'm right.
That's Andy Staples is from On 3 Sports and Rivals. He's got right there 1, 2, 3, 4. So that does match up.
Okay.
Let's go back to the top 25 for a second.
It looks
I think
good.
you're still missing the biggest surprise there, but keep going. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at Vanderbilt at number
There
10.
you go, Vanderbilt.
Let's say that again. Vanderbilt, where we used to think they made jeans, but it's not where they make jeans.
They
It's
beat Brian
high.
Kelly, the former Irish coach, 31-24. And did you see the throw Diego Pavia made running around? He looked like Ed Young in the backyard when he was 6 trying to get away from mommy and daddy and not do the dishes. He was incredible. And by the way, their one blemish was Alabama. And if you look at their schedule the rest of the way, I'm here to tell you, Ed, they have Missouri, at Texas, probably a loss, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee rivalry game. If they finish up with just 2 losses, I think they're a shoo-in for the playoff, regardless of if they're an SEC championship or not. I think if they only lose 2 games to Texas and Bama, they belong in the playoff, which I would have said there's not a chance in the world that happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Beginning of the year, no way, not Vanderbilt. They're not the cellar dwellers we've come to know them as in the S. There were times I used to say they should get out of the SEC. They were the redheaded stepchild. They didn't look right. Here, they're a prestigious academic institution with a bunch of other schools that really put athletics before academics for the most part, though those schools would dare argue with me. But Vanderbilt is like a Northwestern. Northwestern's a school in the Big Ten that's very high academics, doesn't recruit quite like the other guys do. But you're right. If Vanderbilt can run the table, they're definitely going to finish in the top 8, 9, especially if somebody else loses. Now, the key, as you say, they're in the playoffs. That would put probably what? Georgia, Vanderbilt, Alabama, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. That's a lot of SEC schools in there.
First 4 out, Notre Dame, your Irish, who had a nice comeback win over USC, Mizzou, Texas, and Oklahoma. And by the way, best story of the day on Saturday, as great as UVA's was, which you still didn't tell me that was the more impressive comeback or not than Ole Miss. It was what UAB did as like a 23-point dog to beat Memphis. No, not the Memphis coached by Penny Hardaway for basketball, but they beat Memphis. They just got rid of their coach in Trent Dilfer. Alex Mortensen, the son of the late, great ESPN NFL analyst that we lost, passed away. Awesome story. His first game as a coach, they beat Memphis, who was one of those favorites in the group of 5 to get that spot in the playoff. And that's just a super nice story for UAB. And you see the last spot going to South Florida from the American. BYU was surprised as a 10 seed there. But and the other prong, you didn't answer the UVA or Georgia bigger surprise. Is Chapel Bill going to make it through the year? Is he going to make it through the year?
Well, going backwards again, I thought he would. I really did because, first year, I think we said at the beginning of the season, they go 500, considered a good year for them for what Carolina's done. Now, I think the issue which is building is Belichick has more negatives on him from people, including some boosters, than positives. And, Belichick doesn't handle things very well when he's attacked in the manner that he's getting attacked. They're talking about confusion. They're talking about unruly stuff going on. And this is building cases. So I'm going to go from saying that's all hearsay. There's no way they're getting rid of him. With everything that's happening in college football right now, with coaches getting fired, I would say I'm going to go from 99% chance he ain't going nowhere to I'll drop down to still high 90%. There's 10% chance probably. A lot of people are going to say more. There's a more of a chance he could be going. He might just simply step back and say, I want to deal with all this mess. Because, again, we said when he got hired at North Carolina, I know I did, I was like, wow, he's going to step into coaching college kids after, big-time career in the NFL. That's going to be a major difference. Even though he said, I'm looking forward to it. I always wanted to coach college. My head kept saying, no, you're taking a coaching job because you want to coach, and this is the best thing for you. Then the stuff with his girlfriend, which I really think should be separate, but unfortunately it is involved in there now, which is some of the boosters will use that as he's made us a laughing stock. So I won't be surprised if Belichick is gone either before the year is over or soon after the year is over, either by him stepping aside, even though he said, I'm committed and the school's committed to me, and he can't get a buyout if he quits. So if I'm him, I simply say, look, we're doing our job. I'm not listening to the noise. If they don't want me, that's fine. As long as they pay me my buyout, I'll walk away. But I just didn't expect a whole lot from them to begin with. But all this circus atmosphere around it, I think, is going to hurt.
It's a long-winded answer there. And finally, bigger surprise to you, Georgia's comeback or Virginia's, as Virginia now has a great chance here to find themselves in an ACC championship game at season's end, which who would have thought that with Miami's loss? They get their schedule the rest of the way. We see it. It's doable. It's doable. Duke on the 15th of November is a tricky spot, but it's doable.
I'm going to slightly go with Georgia over Mississippi as a little bit bigger comeback than Virginia's. And I can't pinpoint why, other than maybe Mississippi's ranked higher than Georgia. I'm going to go with that one.
Not now, but they were. I get your point.
Yeah, they were, but not now.
Okay. Stick around. We've got more coming your way, including conversations with Brandon Williams of the Green Run Stallions after their big win over Bayside. Now 51 straight, 58 when you include the playoffs against Beach Foes, and a couple of Hampton Crabbers before a key showdown with the Warwick Raiders. It's all coming your way right here on 757 Sports Talk. All right, I'm here with Green Run head football coach Brandon Williams. His Stallions beat the Bayside Marlins tonight 30. Crap, it messed up again. Hold on, here we go. And 5, 4. All right, I'm here with Green Run head football coach Brandon Williams. His Stallions beat the Bayside Marlins tonight 38-14 as they're now 8-0 on the season, coach, and they're 58 straight wins over Beach District opponents when you count the playoff games. This was a 14-all game. Second quarter with a minute to go. You get a field goal from J.J. Tompkins, your kicker. Second half, though, dominant performance. What can you say about your group, the defense and the running game to pile up 292 yards led by the ODU commit Charles Jackson?
I mean, with the way Charles ran that ball tonight, it was a thing of a work of art, and I'm so couldn't be proud of him. Like I said, he's our leader of our team, and we're gonna run behind him no matter what. As far as defensively, I mean that's what Coach Whitehead does best, and go into halftime and adjust and may come out in a different game plan. So the second half adjustments were all our defensive staff.
And it really felt like if you're edge pressure and you're getting Cam Johnson back healthy, another Virginia Tech commit, and I know he was honored at homecoming at halftime there, but Junius Clay is sophomore for you, Quavon Cleveland is sophomore for you. These two guys are like tarantulas out there, 6'4", 6'5". They're long, and it's hard for anybody to block them, even the best of O-lines, right?
No question. They're going to, they'll give us problems coming off the end, like I said, especially when you get a good pass rush like we got tonight. But like I said, I can't be proud of these guys, especially the way we played on the east side of the ball. We flew around and like I said, the first half was a tight notch, but we finished the ball game on the right end. Speaking
of this, you're a veteran coach now. The nicks and bruises, you've had guys dinged up all year long with it. Xavier Clark, who came back tonight, caught a touchdown pass. Corbin Watson out tonight has been a really key part of your defense as a sophomore newcomer for you. Taron Whitehead just got back tonight, son of a D coordinator, and by the way, interception in the end zone. So you've had to kind of plug and mix and match, even though you say, well, we're not crying. Green Run's very talented, but for you guys as coaches, you got to still scheme it up and put people in the right positions, don't you?
That's what that's what we get paid for. I mean, we don't get paid much, but that's what we're here for, to make adjustments and put the kids in the right places to be successful, and we take pride in that.
I don't know if people knew about Devin Miller before the season, but they do now. Tonight he finishes up with 3 catches for 81 yards and a 43-yard punt return. This is a second big game in the Beach for you, much like Cross did it for you against Salem. You get a punt return score. Special teams, the third aspect that gets forgotten about, but it matters, doesn't it?
No question. We preach special teams a lot around here, and that's the first thing we do in practice. I mean, like I said, special teams can win and lose your ball games, and we take that very seriously on all aspects of the game.
Did you feel like once you got that field goal before it happened in the punt return, that if you could get – and you blocked the field goal early, by the way, which was Quavon Cleveland. If you could get hidden points or those points off the specials, that this game would be not the last couple of games you've had that have been tight with teams that are contending, that you'd have kind of the ability to exhale late?
That was actually our game plan. Get some points on the special teams and steal some extra possessions, because we know how talented they are, and they can explode at any time with their team speed. So that was an emphasis this week to have a solid special teams out and possibly put some points on the board. So that's the same thing we came out with that tonight. All
right, I asked your guys afterwards, like Miller and Jackson. First half they didn't give it an A grade, but the second half was like an A+ grade. To run for 292, to shut them out in the second half. No, they've been averaging over 42 a game. This is the type of game you need when it gets colder. Run the football, do things. And oh, by the way, we didn't even talk about your quarterback, Luke Ashcraft, who was efficient tonight, and he's starting to continue to progress in your system. Do you feel like you guys are starting to come along?
Yeah, we're starting to hit our stride. I was talking to our guys this week, and I feel we actually, especially after the Lansdowne game last week, that we finally didn't caught our swagger for the right time and going into the playoffs. So I think if we keep this up, we're going to be a tough outing in the playoff run.
Well, 80% of the way done for the regular season and a couple of more before the playoffs begin. Brycen Widhalm and the Steins, keep it going. Thank you so much.
My man, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
Thank you, Stewie, and thank you, Brycen Widhalm. We're back here on 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV. The beat goes on for Green Run. They're the only unbeaten team left in Hampton Roads, and after War Hill's big surprise, knocking off Poquoson 35-28. And we've got a big game on deck this week in Hampton Roads coming up on Thursday night. Yeah, there's some games on Friday, too, that are worth checking out. Oscar Smith and Nansman River. We'll hear from Lonnie Andrews coming up. You have Lake Taylor and Maury, but the big one on Thursday, it's Hampton, and it's Warwick, and it's big because of what the Crabbers did against the Phoebus Phantoms last week. We caught up with a couple of Crabbers, didn't we?
Yeah, there was two guys whose crabber legs, see what I did there, crab legs, had a big effect on that 43-7 win for Hampton over Phoebus. The youngsters, Casey Lassiter and Davion Perry. You had a good chance to speak to them and see why Hampton annihilated Phoebus right here on Cova Sports TV.
I'm here with the terrific tandem of the Hampton Crabbers. We got on my right, your left, number one, Casey Laster. He's named the MVP of this Great American Rivalry Series, and as he runs for 90 yards and a touchdown to go with a 23-yard catch, had a forced fumble, and Davion Perry, the junior wide receiver defensive back, who had not one, not two, but three takeaways, 2 picks, and a forced fumble. Take me through that play. It's third quarter, Casey, after you had a touchdown run, 58 yards at the house. Their big receiver, Mekhi Hill, catches it. This guy ends up scooping after you forced it. How much did that feel like a momentum-changing play, and you guys were going to dominate from there?
It changed a lot, like just the energy, the team coming together. That's like the first time I really see the team come together with momentum and just everybody on our side. So it changed the game completely.
Now you run it in for the score. How did it feel to extend that lead? And I know you got 2 more picks, one of which you got the flag, which I know your coach will talk to you about, but it had to feel sweet to win this tonight against a rival the way you guys did.
Well, I just wanted to provide for my team. You know, like Casey said, we worked as a team, and we do everything as a team. We are brotherhood, so I was just trying to help my boys out, and I let them. So anything I could do to provide, that's what I was doing. So, yeah.
It's a Thursday night Hampton Phoebus. It means a lot to you guys, doesn't it, to show that, you know, they've beaten you a lot of years and you want to get some payback, if you will?
Yeah, it means a lot. Every year, I played 3 years. He played 4. They beat us all them years, but, you know, this is our bounce-back year. We already knew we had it since the summer, so, yeah.
Now, you might see them again in the playoffs, but you know you couldn't finish your career without a W against them, didn't you? What was your mindset coming in?
It was really just stick to the game plan. Like, we knew coming in, like, we'll just have to work and just play all 4 quarters at 100%.
You told me you're listed at 5'7", and we just spoke with your coach, Coach Wilson. He says he might be small, but he's at the heart of a line. How much does that kind of motivate you to show that, hey, I'm not the biggest of guys, but I can go ball with these dudes out here?
It means a lot. Just really just putting on the jersey, wearing number 1, it comes with a lot, but I just got to prove it on the field like I did.
So that number 1's got to be earned, right, when you put on the Crabber red and black and white?
Yes, sir.
What do you guys take from here, moving forward? And, Dave, you can jump in, too. What does this win do? I know you got Warwick coming up, who's a big matchup in the PD, and that's going to have some significance to it. But what does this win do for you as you move forward?
Just continue to work, continue becoming a real team, continue just playing like the old Crabbers, how everybody's seen, and it was a little glimpse of it today.
Mm-hmm. Davion, it's a different team than last month when you lost to Glen Allen. How is this group different? How have you guys responded and worked through that adversity?
We use that L as fuel. So after that L, we was working hard, grinding every day at practice to prepare for this moment right here. So, yeah, after working out at practice and Jane, we really knew we had it. Like, we watched film on them and all that. We just knew they couldn't mess with us, basically.
Good deal. And lastly, who's the better Madden video game player, you or him?
Me.
You know it's me, Casey. You know it's me.
Davion Perry, Casey Laster, the Crabbers will win in convincing style for Phoebus. Go enjoy, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So a big one on deck, Ed. It's Hampton and it's Warwick on Thursday night. Hampton's got the prolific offense. Warwick's got the stifling defense. Should be fascinating to watch as these two teams jockeying for positioning for the playoffs. Hampton's got the inside track on the number 1 seed, whereas Warwick, they'd like to get a big win here to potentially supplant Kingsport for a number 2 seed. That would mean that the Bulldogs have to go from Suffolk across the way to see the Raiders at John B. Todd if they're to square off then. So, yeah, this game has some significance to it, doesn't it? Plus PD bragging rights.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that we're talking about PED bragging rights with no fees.
PED. No E. There's no drugs. PD, no E. No
see, it's on my mind too much when we think about PEDs. But you know what? PEDs haven't been big talk about here lately in sports.
So we got the Dodgers with Ohtani cranking out home runs left and right, ready to see the winner of Jays
They're not
Mariners.
talking about it. Give it a couple of years, it'll come back into play. They'll say the guys are all doing it. But yeah, it's a big one. And you're right. It's the high scoring Hampton. It's the low scoring defense of Warwick. I think traditionally when this happens, when teams like this come together, it's low scoring. So it means it's going to favor the defensive team. But Hampton's no slouch on defense. And, Warwick has to do enough to get a lead and then maintain it because you don't want your defense out there forever, no matter how good it is. I already know who you're picking. I already know.
All right. He thinks he knows, but he doesn't know. Stick around. We know you will because we have more 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV coming your way.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here is Matt Hatfield.
And welcome back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV wherever you are tuning in. We thank you for doing so. We've got a special guest with us from the Frank W. Cox Falcons in Virginia Beach. He's an reigning all-region kicker and punter who has recently made his commitment to Army, serving our country, and he's going to continue his football career there, too. He's a heck of a soccer player, too. We say hello to Brycen Widhalm. Brycen, thanks so much for stopping by. Congrats on your commitment. How's life been treating you?
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me out here. It's amazing. It's still an unreal feeling. I'm still pretty shocked. My family's all shocked, but overall, it's a good ambience, so I'm very happy right now.
That is so cool. And we showed the clip there, your 40-yard game winner against Lansdowne,
yes,
first game of the season. Was that your first game winner you had?
Yes, sir, that was my first game winner.
Butterflies,
nice.
you had hit one, earlier in the game, I think from like 46, 47 yards out. With
yes,
butterflies, the game's on the line. We see it all the time in the pros. Kickers can be made heroes like Adam Vinatieri, or they could be the guys people are screaming and cursing at. They didn't make the winning kick. What's going through your mind as it's the first game of the season, and it's all kind of depending on your foot and leg there?
Yes, sir. So obviously my team had to set that up for me. Our defense got a good stop. Our offense drove down the field to get us in that range. And I'll be honest, I was nervous on the sideline, but once I stepped on the field, I was very confident in my team, the blockers and holder. And we just did our job just like we practice every day. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think you're averaging 39 yards per punt, 5 field goal makes for the first 6 games. And you had a pretty good mentor, I understand, from Cox there, a guy that kicked before you who's now at William & Mary. I think it is Sam Braidwood, right? He was a pretty good mentor for you to watch from him. What kind of tips has he shown you along the way? And I'm sure he's shown you the ropes as you've progressed into his taking his shoes and taking off to another level.
Yes, sir. I'm still in contact with him. He's actually a great friend. We played high school soccer at Frank W. Cox and won a state championship. He really is like a brother. He taught me everything. Nothing would be possible without him. So I do give a lot of glory to him. And he's doing great at William & Mary. I'm pretty sure he's starting kickoff. So all the best to him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you put up there duty, honor, country. You're going to play at Army and also serve the country at Army. Tell me how that whole opportunity came about, because for kickers and punters, you don't always get those great looks, if you will, that typical college recruits will do that play your sport of football. And you also play soccer, which we can talk about too. But how'd you get seen? I'm sure you went to some different camps, and there's always opportunities to walk on scholarship. Take me through that whole process and what made you choose Army.
Yes, sir. So it really all started junior year. I picked up football again after playing freshman year and then taking a break sophomore year. I didn't really have clue what I was going to do in college. It was going to be between soccer or football. I had a long talk with my family, And we eventually did decide that football was going to be the best for me. And it was really my choice. And my family supported me, which I'm very grateful for. I don't know. It's just amazing. There's a lot of emotions with it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It was just, yeah. It was a tough choice. I'll be honest. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And junior year, I turned season winning the honors for the region and then getting state honors as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. We trained really hard during the winter, played high school soccer still because those are my brothers as well. And we had a huge camp circuit, went to so many college camps to kick footballs, won a few Division I camps. It was amazing. Sent film out to a bunch of coaches. And Coach Eternio was that really got back to me constantly in positive feedback. So, I mean, that's just amazing. And then, yeah, I went to some game day visits, and eventually, the Army versus Charlotte, they got the win 24-7. I just went out last Saturday. Amazing facility, amazing atmosphere, nothing bad to say about it, amazing academics. And the brotherhood there really is prestigious. The locker room post-win was out of the world. It was really, you had to be there to experience it. There's just no other place like it. And we went on a facility tour afterwards, and Coach Eternio pulled me aside afterward, and he offered me a full ride to Army, and I accepted it within seconds. There was no doubt about it.
It's awesome. That is so cool. And I know you mentioned some different camps and so forth. And now they're taking you as a kicker or a punter or a little bit of both. It's a
little bit of both. So
okay.
Figure it out.
Which do you think you're better at? I mean, I'm sure you practice both a lot, and you feel you're pretty effective at each because you were all region. I'm sure you're going to be up for potentially all region, all state honors this year. But what do you think is more your forte if you had to pick between the two? I
do think I'm a better kicker, place kicker, only because I don't really feel the pressure when I'm on the field, and punting it's just a little unsure. It's a little harder. You have to get the drop down. As confident and I believe as good as I am, I think kicking is my strong suit. Sure. I love what you did. You were very selfless talking about your teammates and your defense setting you up, your offense. It is really a group effort because it's all about getting the snap down when it's a field goal, getting that holder to put it there for you, and you kicking it. We saw recently, I think it was, I forget if it was a college or pro game where a kicker slipped before he kicked the field goals. I think it was in Pittsburgh, their game with the Browns guys with the field being, the storm and the weather there. And with punts, I'm sure you always worried about them guys coming through and blocking the mess out of it. So, in high school, you always got to worry about that. So, but it's been good. We ask a lot about the skill players, or the quarterbacks, the linebackers, you name it, receivers. How are you different as a football player, athlete, soccer? But it goes hand in hand, I think, too. How have you progressed, or where have you changed or developed that from your starting year, freshman, to now? Where have you gotten better at? Is it just overall awareness and knowing how things are in terms of the acumen and speed of the game? What would you say? Yes, sir. So freshman year, I was just kicking to kick. I was a soccer player all my life since I was 6 years old. So I was kicking to kick. There was no form whatsoever. And I just went out. I had fun. I played JV, and I also started punting on varsity. And Sam Braidwood kicked. He's now at William & Mary. Mm-hmm. I took a break sophomore year. Junior year, I picked it up again. I got a call from our defensive coordinator, Brian Graham, which – he did go to the Naval Academy, so we're in a little bit of a battle starting now, but it's okay. It'll make the next 5 years pretty fun. I've gotten to cover high school football now for 20-plus years. I've gotten to know Coach Grimm a little bit, so I'm sure you're not his favorite person in the world unless you hit the field goal to bail the team out and you guys advance in the postseason, or I'm sure he loved you after the Lansdowne game one. So, yeah, there's going to be some friendly trash talking, I'm sure, during Army-Navy week, huh? There definitely is. It's going to get chippy. A few more minutes here with Brycen Widhalm of Cox High School. He's at 5 field goals, averaging over 39 yards per punt this season as the Falcons off to a 4-2 start, chasing another playoff spot in Region 5A here out of the Beach District. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Last two for you, Bryce, before we do some rapid fire. Take me through what do you think this team can accomplish this year? Because we all know certainly Green Run's the top dog in the Beach. And you guys already played them. Some other good teams like yourself and Kempsville, Bayside, Salem. But I know the postseason, getting there and advancing after the last 2 years, getting knocked out in the first rounds,
the goal. Are you going to bed at night dreaming about having that kick to win the game, get tied or down last seconds like you had in game 1 against Lansdowne?
Yes, sir. I actually don't think it'll come up to that. I think last year we unfortunately did get knocked out in the first round, but we were very unhealthy at the end of the season. I think this year we're taking care of our bodies, which is really good. We've only had very few injuries, so I think it's going to come down to who's the healthier team at the end of the season, and I know we'll get it done. Our offense has been working nonstop, and our defense is out of this world, so I really do think we're going to make a deep run.
Awesome. I love that. Now, I asked this to another kicker that I got a chance to interview after Morey beat Bishop McNamara in triple overtime. Me being at Hatfield, having to interview McCoy was odd, but Charlie McCoy of Morey High School, you may or may not know him at all, but he hit a game-winning field goal. And I said to him, and he didn't really stone me on purpose. He just kind of, I'm sure, caught up in the moment. I was like, who do you look up to kickers? Like, I like them all. I don't want that answer. I love them all. Give me a kicker or two. I'm sure you watch in college or pro that you study or say, man, I like how he does it. I'm sure there's got to be one or two out there. Or you got a favorite pro team maybe that you love that kicker. Who's the guy or two? Give me one or two if you can.
Yes, sir. I like Koo, and I know he just got released from the Falcons, but I think he's a guy's guy. I think he's super relatable. The fans do love him. I mean, give or take, but I think having a relatable person on the field who is a good guy, I think it's someone you could definitely stand by.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, Hungwei Koo. Maybe he'll get picked up by a team here in the playoff hunt before the NFL season is done, no doubt. All right, ready to play some rapid fire with us, Brycen?
Yes, sir.
Here we go with the Army commit, Brycen Widhalm of Cox High in Virginia Beach. All right, what's your favorite TV show?
My team, excuse me?
Favorite TV show?
Ooh, my favorite TV show? I actually like The Walking Dead. I've been getting into that recently. Okay. It's very dystopian, but I like I like binge watching. So
okay, I love it. All right, favorite movie?
My favorite movie, I've got to say I do like all the James Bonds. I'm obsessed with them. Mission Impossible's action is definitely my way to go. All
right, you like those? Good deal. Good deal. Trade places with one person in the world. What person are you trading places with?
I think I would trade my places with a college coach, possibly a recruiter, a coordinator, because I do think being in my shoes, I can see how, like, personally as players we think, and I think it'd be easier to spot like signs, because it was a harder recruiting process for me, but then it really came once this good season started happening. But I think there are people out there that really deserve a fair shot.
Cool. I love that. All right. A couple more for you. Halloween's coming up. What's your go-to candy?
My go-to candy?
Yeah.
I like Hershey chocolate bar, original, milk chocolate.
All right. What's your best costume you did for Halloween? I'm sure you're not doing it now, trick or treat. What was your best costume you went as?
My best costume, I think I was Shaggy last year from Scooby-Doo. So
okay. All right.
It was pretty crazy. I had some long hair.
All right. And last one, if Brycen can visit one place in the world he hasn't gone, where you going? Be it vacation or just to check out and travel to?
Vacation. I think I want to go to Singapore. Okay. I'm sure it's really clean. It's a different world, I've heard. So okay. I think that'd be interesting.
Good stuff. That's Brycen Widhalm of the Cox Falcons, headed to Army to serve our country and continue his outstanding football journey. He's a talented soccer and football athlete from Cox High in Virginia Beach. Thank you so much for doing this, and all the best to you the rest of the way, and I'm sure we'll bump into you before the season's over.
Yes, sir. Of course. Thank you.
That's Brycen Widhalm of Cox High School in Virginia Beach, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cove of Sports TV. Stick around. We've got more coming your way. Like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned. Welcome back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cove of Sports TV wherever you are, as we now have a special guest with us. He is the newest commitment to the Cavaliers of Virginia. We say hello to Lonnie Andrews III out there, the Oscar Smith class of 2027 quarterback who's repping an LA hat. Oh, don't tell me you're a Dodgers fan, Lonnie. Congratulations on your commitment. How's life treating you?
Thank you. Life's going well. How are you?
I'm good. You aren't a Dodgers fan, are you? Please tell me no.
Nah, I just got the hat because it say LA.
Okay, no problem. There you go. Lonnie Andrews with us. He's just made his commitment this week to play his college football next year at the University of Virginia. Tell us about it. You were up there in Charlottesville for the wild comeback from 10 points down against Washington State, and you've been getting a lot of attention. You've been making visits around the country the last couple of years, offers from a boatload of schools, but you've decided to be a Wahoo. Why?
Just the love from the coaching staff. The coaching staff has shown me a lot of love since they have started recruiting me. And I have family background to UVA, knowing my goddad and my uncle played there, Perry Jones and Tim Smith. So they was just showing me a lot of love, and I just felt like God put me in that moment for a reason. So I just went with it.
Yeah, you mentioned Goddad, Perry Jones, and Tim Smith. They won some hardware at Oscar Smith back in 2008. You did it last year, but not just them two. You got a teammate in Jaden Koval, who's headed to UVA. You've got a coach on your staff, Javati Simmons, who played linebacker there. So you've been probably hearing about UVA in your ear for many, many years now, huh?
Yes, sir.
What is it about UVA and what Tony Elliott's doing there right now? And the team's off to a rocket start here at 6-1. And I understand the assistant coach, who was your main recruiter, I believe the quarterback's coach, Coach Lamb, he was big on you quite a bit for a good amount of time now. Tell us about that if you can.
Coach Elliott, he has been doing a great job with the program. He's been preaching that he wants to rebuild UVA with the in-state guys. So me being able to be a quarterback commit to UVA, being an in-state person, is going to play a huge role in the rest of the recruiting process for UVA. And like Coach Lamb, he's a great coach, great person, and things of that nature. He talks to me almost every day, checks up on me, asks how I'm doing, and talks football with me and things of that nature. So they just show a lot of love, and I really like that.
Very cool. Has Coach Lamb shown you his numbers from back in his playing days, Georgia Gatorade Player of the Year and things like that? Went on to App State and set some numbers and like giving you a bar to reach for when you get there?
Oh, no, I never knew he did all that.
Oh, well, I guess you'll have to get read up on the education part of it.
Yeah.
There. But tell me about what the atmosphere and environment was for that game, because now the Cavaliers now have had a couple of wild wins, the overtime games with Florida State and Louisville, and they win this game coming from behind. They're thinking about ACC championship, top 25. Your coach at Oscar Smith, Chris Scott, the thing he says about you that we wrote up on Virginia Preps is Lonnie's just a winner and a competitor. So I'm sure that winning mindset you want to help continue on when you get there.
Yes, sir. I want to go into the program. I want to help the program keep ascending, like keep going higher and higher up in the rankings and things of that nature. So I don't know. It's a great feeling. The atmosphere of the game was great. I feel like the crowd when the defense needed it, they helped out a lot. So just making the offenses jump off sides with all the noise and things of that nature. So that's pretty much it.
For sure. We're talking with Lonnie Andrews, the third Oscar Smith quarterback. He's a junior, reigning Region 6A Offensive Player of the Year, helped the team win a state championship as he was first-team All-State, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV, off to a nice 6-1 start here to this season. Lonnie, let's also chat about, for you here, it's been pretty neat to see your development from freshman. You're a guy that's in a three-way battle. You win a state championship as a sophomore, and I'm sure you've got big goals and aspirations even before you get on to UVA, don't you?
Yes, sir. I have a lot of goals set out, just not only for myself but for the team. Because football is bigger than just the eye. It's a team sport, the biggest gladiator sport there is. So goals for me, I just have like continue to keep bettering myself as a player, keep get 6A Offensive Player of the Year again, first team all region, first team all Tidewater, and things of that nature. But the bigger goal is a team goal, which is the state championship. And a quarterback plays a big role in a team state championship. So I just got to keep on helping my guys get better and better every week and make sure that we reach that goal that we have set for ourselves.
Yeah, a lot of good ones have come out of Oscar Smith at quarterback, from the days of Greg Boone to J.J. Williamson, Dexter Merritt, Phillip Sims. Sean Mitchell is one of your coaches now. And, of course, you're continuing that tradition of terrific quarterbacks among the best in the area and the state. For those who haven't watched you play before, you have a legion of fans at Oscar Smith because it's one of the most passionate fan bases in all of Virginia. But now the UVA fans are going to check you out. What are they going to see on your tape and when they watch you live this year on the quest to another state championship up there in Harrisonburg in December, and also beyond that as a senior before you get to Charlottesville? What will they see out of your game? What do you hope they see out of your game?
They're just going to see a good overall, well-rounded dual threat quarterback, somebody who could throw the ball, make any throw on the field. I can mobilize with my legs if I need to, and things of that nature. And I'm going to lead my team so that we make it to the goal that we have set for ourselves.
Awesome. Now, you're already a recruiter here. I mean, Jaden Covell and those guys are recruiting you to UVA. Now you're recruiting others. It sounds like you're not the only one from the class of 2027. Gene Jones, defensive lineman from Hampton, also committed on Saturday. Have you and him got a chance to chat, connect, vibe a little bit? Tell me about others that might be on your recruiting board and what you and Gene have talked about, if anything.
Actually, when I went to UVA, I didn't even know he was going to be there. Okay. So, because I've actually had interactions with Gene before. Because he's a great person outside of football also. So when I seen him there, we was all talking to Coach Elliott. It was like a little group of us, and we was talking, and then after we had all like spread it back out, just watching everybody warm up, he came up to me and he congratulated me. And then after he congratulated me, he had told me he was committing to at the same time as me, and he was announcing it to the internet at around 8:00. So I was just very hyped for him. Like, we was in the stands in the middle of the game. I was just checking my phone, waiting for 8:00, just so he could announce his commitment to the world. So I was very excited for him. And we're gonna do our best with recruiting other in-state guys and big name guys around the state. And we're just gonna make UVA one of the best programs in the nation.
Really cool, really cool. Before we let you run here a couple more, and then we'll do rapid fire at the end here. Now I don't know that you're going to be able to flip your buddy, your teammate, who's already headed to Michigan, four-star Travis Johnson. But what do you and him talk about during the recruiting process? Because you and Travis went on a lot of different visits, Lonnie, and saw some places all over the country. I'm sure you probably asked some questions from him as you went through this process yourself, even only as a junior.
So with Travis, I had talked to him. I actually called him today trying to get him to flip. And he said, nah, but I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm not just gonna stop. So I'm just gonna try my best. But even if I don't get him to be able to flip his commitment, then I'm still gonna support him. He's like a brother to me. We've done plenty of things like to help each other get better, like training together, weightlifting, and things of that nature. So regardless of wherever Travis goes, I'm going to be proud of him, happy for him, and I'm going to always root for him.
We spoke back in the spring, Lonnie. You told me that you grew up an Alabama fan and a big fan of Jalen Milroe, and you also study quarterbacks in the pros that have a lot of success, such as Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. What are you working on in your craft right now as a junior? Team's off to a nice start at 6-1, rebounded from that loss to Gonzaga out of D.C. But I know you're not a finished product by any means, and you still are striving for perfection and greatness, aren't you?
Yes, I'm constantly working every day. Me and my quarterback coach Sean Mitchell, who was a former Oscar Smith quarterback, we watch tape. We figure out what things I have to critique. He's very nitpicky with the little things, so he can make sure I'm great at the little things, because the little things are what's gonna make you great. So we're constantly working every day with when it comes to mechanics, certain level throws, chemistry with the receivers and things of that. So we just always trying to get better, 1% better every single day.
Now, before we know it, December will be here in that pursuit of a state championship. Also, November 29th will be here for the battle of Commonwealth bragging rights, Hokies and Wahoos. What's going to happen at the end of November when the Hoos play host to the Hokies? Any idea?
I got my Hoos. I feel like we're gonna play a very well overall team game that game, and we're gonna come up with that W.
In all seriousness, though, Virginia had been struggling the last couple of years. Did their sudden burst of success, becoming a top 25 program, was that something that mattered to you and appealed to you? Was that all going to be something that swayed you in this process, that if they weren't winning, I wouldn't do this, but now they're winning so much, I'm going to be a part of that?
I wouldn't say just the winning played that much of a impact in it. Is what made the big impact in the commitment is really just the love from the coaching staff. And the winning could add a little bit more onto it, but I wouldn't have mind going to UVA if they weren't winning as much as they were now, and still just trying to help the program get back to where they were. So it's not really about the winning; it's just about like the love from the coaching staff and them wanting me to be the best that I can be.
I can appreciate the honesty. Good deal. All right, we've done all the recruiting questions and questions about your team here for this season. You ready to play some rapid fire, the real fun stuff?
Let's do it.
Here we go with Lonnie Andrews III, the junior quarterback on the quest for another state championship and a recent UVA commitment just this past weekend. All right, Lonnie, what's your favorite TV show?
Probably SpongeBob.
You're a SpongeBob guy. Okay. Favorite movie?
Safety. The movie with the kid from Clemson.
Okay. What's the go-to video game?
2K or NCAA.
2K or NCAA? All right. Who you playing with in 2K?
In 2K, I just play my career like with my friends,
Okay.
and then on NCAA, I pretty much just like if I'm playing a friend, I go based off of who they're playing.
Okay. What is Lonnie Andrews' hype song?
I would probably say "All In" by NBA YoungBoy.
Okay. What's your favorite meal?
Steak, mashed potatoes, broccoli, and like some strawberry muffins.
Okay. Song you're embarrassed to admit you hum along or sing to?
I listen to like some Adele.
Okay.
From now and then. Yeah.
Okay. 3 more here. If you could trade places with one person in the world, who you choosing?
Let's say that's a good question. Let's go with Lamar Jackson.
Okay. If you can visit one place you haven't been to in the world, where would you go?
Turks and Caicos. I've always dreamed of taking my mom there.
All right. Well, hey, go do it up big at UVA and go win a natty or go make the league. You can do that. And lastly, I ordinarily ask you the impersonation of like your coach, like Coach Scott, but we'll say that for another time. So today I'm going to ask you, since it's almost Halloween, what's your Halloween candy you can't do without? Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. All right. He's going to celebrate that coming up on the 31st. But before that, he's still got some unfinished business with the Tigers of Oscar Smith, the newest UVA commitment, Lonnie Andrews III. Thank you so much. Congrats. And again, we'll chat soon.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That is Lonnie Andrews III, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk. Don't go anywhere. We got more coming your way right here on Cova Sports TV. Stay tuned. And we're back here on 757 Sports Talk, Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Ed, it is now time to do our NBA over-unders for 25-26. To recap, we do this every year with all the sports. Major League Baseball, the National Football League, and the National Basketball Association, which begins on the Peacock and NBC. Oh, give me some round ball rock John Tesh style, don't you? Love it from the 90s, the glory years, my youth. 1 and 2 for me, as the Suns did not do well on my picks for over 46.5. They won just 36. They blew that team up thanks to Bradley Beal with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. The Bucks under 51.5 was a winner at 48. The Grizzlies also won 48, but that was a loser since I had them at under 45.5. And Ed wanted to be different and take 4 as opposed to 3. Why? Only he knows. Cavs won a lot more than he expected. So too did the Warriors. The Heat didn't quite reach his expectations, but the Pacers more than exceeded his and everybody's as they made the NBA Finals and lost in Game 7 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, Edward, it is now time to give out the picks, and I get to go first since my 1 and 2 was better than your 1 and 3. My first selection is going to be Portland over 34.5. I like the roster. They're young. They're talented. They got Sharp. They got Klingon. They got Scoot Henderson. And they brought in Drew Holiday. Give me the Blazers over the 34.5. You're going to take an over 2, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to go to my Boston Celtics.
Oh, I see it in the background.
I'm going with my Celtics. Oh, let me get out of the way. Celtics. I'll stay in front of the Yankees because they didn't do it.
No.
And the Raiders right now are going to play for a first round pick. Boston over 41.5. I think they get to 43. I know Tatum's out, but let's see what they can do.
What about the Pacers without Halliburton? You'd like them as an over 2?
Well, I'll go with the Pacers. You know what? I'm going to go with the Pacers too. 37. What do you got? 37.5.
Yeah,
that's 39 wins. Halliburton possibly be back. Team had a great year. Give me Indiana.
All right, for my last 2, I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings under 35.5. I know they have Sabonis and Levine and DeRozan, but I just don't like the roster mix, especially bringing in Russell Westbrook, who could be Russell Westbrook at times. And give me the Knicks over 53.5. So there you have it, my 3 choices. Over for the Blazers and over to Knicks. The East is weak with the injuries, with uncertainty with Tatum, and with Halliburton and the Pacers. I think the Nets are terrible. Brooklyn's bad. Sorry, Cam Thomas. He's a local guy from the Chesapeake area. Went to Oscar Smith his freshman year, but I just think the East has a lot of weak teams. And I think the Knicks will pad that record with Mike Brown, the former Kings coach, until the playoffs come, and then Mike Brown will get a little tight, as will the Knicks. So those are my 3 selections. What's your last one? Are you going west, my friend? Go west, young man. Go west.
I will. I'm going to go with somebody that I screwed last year and they beat me. I'm going to go Golden State over, what is it, 47.5? I think they get 48, 49 wins.
All right, so there you have it. Ed's picks the Warriors to get 48 wins, the Celtics to get at least 42 victories, and the Pacers to get a minimum of 38. He's going all overs, and me again, I'm going with the Blazers to get 35+ in the regular Western Conference, the Kings to win 35 or fewer, sorry, Doug Christie, and the Knicks to get maybe the 1 or 2 seed, 54+. I think it's going to be them in Cleveland in the Eastern Final and competing for those top 2 slots. So that's going to do it for this edition of 757 Sports Talk. We thank all of our guests, and we're going to chat with you next time right here, Cova Sports TV. So long, everyone.